Hi everyone. In today's review, we're going to review the Kodak Mini Shot 2 Era. And it's a cartridge bundle, so it comes not only with the camera itself, but also the photo paper to print the pictures as well. So I did not purchase this. This was a gift to me from Kodak for me to review. And they asked me to give my honest opinion of this item. So that's what we're going to do today. So thank you so much, Kodak. I'm looking forward to trying this out and comparing it with some other models that I have. That we'll do in the next video. For this video, we're just going to unbox this. We'll see what you get when you purchase it from Amazon. It initially comes in this cardboard box. It's a pretty thin box, but that's because the other items are boxed even further on the next layer. So this one is called the Cartridge Bundle, MS200. Now, I asked in particular for the yellow and black for the retro looking edition. So they have one that is all black, and then they have one that is yellow and black. And then these two. Okay, so in this cartridge bundle, you get two of these. They both have 30 sheets in them. So you'll get 60 sheets of 2.1 by 3.4 or 53 millimeter by 86 millimeter. So love that. So those are the cartridges. And then this is the cute camera. So you'll see again, these boxes are extra sturdy. This one is the MS200. So they sent me the yellow edition, which is this one here. They also have one that is all black. Now, what really stood out to me right away when I saw the advertisement for this is 4-pass technology. So if you're familiar with a lot of the mini printers that print like on zinc paper, they, with them, it's like I think it's only a 1-pass technology. So with the 4-pass, what that means is you get all 4 layers that you would typically have in any color print, like a good quality magazine or laser printer, for example. You're going to have the yellow, magenta, cyan, and black. So this piece of paper will go back and forth 4 times in order to get the true color. So that's what's so amazing about this one for your journals. In particular, if you're looking for a little better photo quality print in this size, you're probably really going to like this printer. All right, so it comes with a little thank you card. So another thing that's interesting with this particular 4-pass technology is usually with a 4-pass printer, you're going to be getting a ink cartridge and then your photo papers are separate. But in this case, that's not how this works. In this case, it's an all-in-one cartridge. So your ink and your photo paper is all in one unit. You don't have to change out 2 separate things. It connects directly by Bluetooth to your smartphone, so you'll be able to do those directly from your phone, from the little Kodak app. And then it'll let you choose what type of frame you want to use on it. They have recommended temperatures, so this is really important in places like where I live in Texas, where we get extreme hot. In the car, our temperature can get way over 100 degrees. Our outside temp alone in the summer can be around 110 to 112. And so if you're inside the car enclosed, of course, it's going to be at least 20 degrees hotter than that. So this is very important. And those of you that live up north, then the cold temperature is something to watch out for as well. So when I would take this out of my house, I would just try to make sure that the temperature is within that range if I know I'm going to be leaving it in the car or if I'm going to be standing outside a lot. It comes with a little wrist holder. And here's the camera itself. Wow, it's pretty hefty actually. So here again, it shows that it's Bluetooth with any smartphone, photo border with 6 filters. The photo size for this particular model is 2.1 inches by 3.4 inches. And it's important to note that this is a 10 megapixel camera. So many times your smartphone is going to be a better resolution, but if you want to just use the nostalgia of having a camera that prints, this one is at 10 megapixels. You can view that photo through a 1.77 LCD viewfinder. As far as I know, it does not save that photo. So as soon as you take the photo with this camera, you'll need to print it right away because it's not going to save. And when you look at the front of this camera, you can see it's a pancake style lens. This is a little square. You could take a selfie. See, I'm right there. You can take a selfie of yourself, and then it also has the flash. And then this is the 1.77 millimeter screen that it's talking about on the back. So included with the camera, straight out the box, is the camera itself. It does have a cartridge in it already. It's not a full cartridge. This one has 8 photos in it. So you can kind of do some test prints and see how things work for you. It has the user guide, which is this piece of paper here. It's actually on the very top. It says thank you as soon as you open it. So that's your user guide. And it also has this strap right here. Okay, so measurements in inches. This camera is a little over 5 3/4 of an inch long. On this end, it's about 1 1/4 inches deep. On this end, it's about a little over 1.5 inches deep. And then the overall height is about 3 1/4 inches. So that's the size of it. I will show you another printer to compare it to. So I have a Canon Ivy here. You can see how they compare. Again, this doesn't take photos. This is just a mini photo printer. But I know some of you will be wondering, what the size differences are like. So they're about the same, I guess, width or height, however you want to say that. It's a little bit shorter. There we go. So that's the difference between those two. So the first thing I'm going to need to do for this is charge it. I'm not going to take these plastics off until I'm absolutely ready to use it because I know there's a bit of a learning curve here as I open some things. So this is where the USB-C charger is supposed to be. This is where your handle will go. Let me go ahead and add this here now. Okay, so you probably have a better way of doing this, but because I have these nails, I could not get this little flap open. So I used a butter knife and I just wedged it in there, and you'll see it flips right up. So that is attached. It does not come off. So initially I was trying to push and shove that direction of the arrow and it just wasn't working. So what it is you actually have to lift from the bottom of that arrow right there. You have to lift from in between, and then it has like a little rubber piece that's attached. So I'm not exactly sure what the reset button is for, but this is where you would charge with just a regular USB-C. So I'm going to go charge it right now. I'm at 0, so I'll let you know how long it took me to get a full charge. So as we take a look at one of these Kodak Mini Shot 2 series, you'll see it says Mini. So these it'll work for Mini Shot 2 series cameras in particular. So you'll want to make sure to pay attention to that. And then this one is 30 sheets and this is the size. So they have different ones and different sizes, I believe, for different size cameras. Some of them have like a 3x3 photo, and then this one is the 2.1 by the 3.4. This is how they're doing it so that you don't have two separate pieces. You have your ink roll here and then your sheets of paper in here. So this whole cartridge gets inserted all at one time. So each one of these cartridges has 10 sheets of paper. So after 10 shots, you'll change to another one and you'll change out the whole piece. And then after those 10 shots, you have your last set. So that is 3 separate sets. So if you know you're going to an event where you're going to be taking a lot of pictures, just keep in mind that you're only loading 10 shots at a time. So you may want to pack some extra cartridges with you. Now, from what I know from my other photo printers that have 4-pass technology, it's best to keep this dark in the box until you're ready to use it. So I wouldn't take it out of the box like I just did here and just leave it out in front of a window or something. It's not going to be able to retain those colors as well for you. So you'll want to keep them in a box like this and keep the box covered until you're ready to use them. So in my case, I'll just have to take my box back together, but try to keep it as dark as possible or put them in a drawer. Just put them in a dark drawer. That's probably what I'm going to do since this is going to be in my desk. I'll just put them in my desk drawer and it'll be nice and dark in there for them. So 2 different boxes, that means 60 shots, and it means you have 6 of those cartridge sets. So this is the border selection. I'll click OK. And right now it's set to borderless. So borderless print will look like this. It does edge to edge. It'll have a little bit of a white tail. You bend it, it's perforated, and it pops off. So that's the borderless option. The other option you have is you can use these arrows to go back and forth, and it'll add a border around the entire picture. Yeah, so those are the 2 options. So I'll print that again, this time with a border. So this is the area where you'll load the cartridge, but you'll see as it's printing, the first pass was yellow, the second pass is red, this third pass, it labels it, it's going to be the cyan. And now the 4th pass is laminating. What makes it really nice about that is you can use it in a journal that maybe you watercolor in or something like that. And the image is protected even if you get water on it. It has a coating on it to protect it from water. So you can put it in your journal just like this with it attached, or you can just bend it. It'll snap off. And so this is just a quick outdoor picture I took of a little rosebud on the rose bush outside. So this is the borderless, and then this is the one with a border. Now the camera on the Kodak itself is only 10 megapixels. So if you're wanting something more high quality, you can still take a picture on your cell phone and then print it using this printer as well. So let me go take the same photo with my cell phone camera, and then we'll print it on this little printer. So one thing you'll want to make sure to do is to go to your Bluetooth settings in your cell phone and select Kodak Era, and just make sure you have that Bluetooth connection there. Then the first time that you open the app with it connected, it's going to probably want to do a firmware update. So go ahead and allow the firmware update so that it can set to the correct options for the photo size of the actual camera printer that you are using. So on the app itself, especially when you choose the border mode, you'll notice that there's all these different border types that you can select within the app. So you can make those selections along with the photo that you've already taken on your phone. Use that from your photo gallery and you can get a sharper image. So when you use the app, it starts in the print mode. It actually shows you exactly what color layer it's printing. So it'll start with that yellow, and then it'll eventually progress to the magenta, and then it'll go to cyan, and then it'll add that laminate on top. Okay, so I put a little bit of a different border on this one than I had on the others, just so I remember which one this was. So let me explain what I did here. So I took this photo, which is the exact same rows as these other two photos. I took this on my cell phone and then printed it out using the photo printer here. The reason why I wanted to do that is not to show that it's a bad camera, because really it's not. I mean, for 10 megapixel, you know, it's doing its job. It is a windy day, so things moved a little bit. It's not bad, but if you have like a high resolution cell phone, I want to say mine is 25 megapixels, maybe something higher. You can get a better photo with your cell phone, but this thing prints exceptionally. So this is not any bad effect of the printer. The printer is actually quite exceptional. So the camera is okay, the 10 megapixel, but the printing is amazing. Again, that 4-pass technology is very unique because this allows it to have those true colors of the yellow, cyan, and magenta, and also the laminated sheet over it so that it's water resistant. So that makes it absolutely amazing. And you can see the vibrancy and the true darks of the blacks, the greens, even the highlights here in the bark. You can see the whites and the browns. So again, this is about camera quality more than it is about printer quality. The printer portion of this is phenomenal. So I absolutely love it. This is a great alternative to take with you if someone's wanting to have a picture and you want to print it. You can either print it from anyone's cell phone that's with you, or you can take a picture directly with the camera here, take your group shot, and print it out for your friends. Again, you'll get 10 sheets in this. So my review of this, absolutely love it. I'll definitely be using it, especially for these small journal photos that I want to use. Now, for me personally, I will probably use it for the printer more than the camera itself, but it's amazing for either one. It does what it needs to do, but at the same time, as a printer for this size photo, absolutely amazing. So let's play with some of the settings and see what some other things are in these menu options. Okay, there we go. So you'll see it auto sets. You'll click on menu. So again, you can click on border. You can go with borderless, or you can have a border around it. You can also go to filters. Monochrome will change it to black and white. It will actually take the photo in that color for you as well. Light blue, retro, sepia, clear. I'm not sure what clear is. And then normal. You can have a timer and flash. So you have a 10-second timer, timer off, flash off, auto flash. This is what it automatically goes to. It's already on auto flash for me, or you can force flash on. And then you can set language. I'm just curious to see what languages they have. Let's see, Korean, Spanish, French, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Italian, and English. Nice options there. Okay, so you can print directly from the camera as well. So say you take your picture and then click print, it will automatically print the picture that you took off of here. So it's pretty amazing. Now, as far as I know, it doesn't store the picture. So like you take the picture, you have to print it right away. I don't know of there being a storage device in this that actually saves the picture. So again, take the picture and then print it, or take it with your cell phone and then use this as a Bluetooth printer. So it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It only took me 30 minutes to charge it. Again, it takes a USB-C charger, just plugs in right here. I did have to open it with a butter knife. Looks like I'm going to have to do that again. And then the cartridge goes in here. All right, so where you change the cartridge, this flap opens much easier than this USB-C side flap. It just flips gently open. You can see what model it is. And then right there is where you slide in the cartridge, and it can only go in one way. It's really obvious how it should slide in there. And so every time you load one of those, you'll have 10 photos to go. So like I said, this one came with the cartridge installed, and then in the bundle pack, you'll get 2 more of these boxes. Each one of these have 3 cartridges with 10 sheets each. So they are great quality. Again, these are the photos. This is the one, took a picture with the Kodak camera. This was, I used it just as a photo printer off of a picture that I took with my iPhone. So check them out below. Their link is listed there. It is directly with them. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them below. They will be watching this video, so they may even be in a position to answer questions better than me. All right, well, if you think you're going to enjoy having this little photo printer with you as well, camera and printer all in one, please give this video a thumbs up. Check out their other products. They have a 3x3 version, and they have this one, and then they just have photo printers as well. So the 4-pass technology is incredible. If there's any type of mini printer you use, 4-pass technology is definitely the one that I personally recommend. All right, hope you have fun using it in your journal. I'll see you on the next one.